Listen, you spend 100% of your time with yourself. So if you don't like what you're doing, how you're acting towards people, what you're engaging in, what career you're pursuing, you're going to be so unhappy because you spend all the time with you. There's not a moment in your life that you're not with yourself. Point blank, period. Y'all, it's time to sage my place because it's been a minute and I haven't really saged my new room yet. And this weekend some things happened that I won't share, that I will not share. And I feel like I need a little energy cleansing, you know? So I just learned, which is good to know, that when you're saging like your rooms and stuff, you want to leave the windows open so that any negative and bad energy can actually leave the space. It makes sense actually. But I also don't know if that means for like negative spirits, because this isn't really for spirits for me. This is just more energy. But that's what I heard about spirits. Like, but I also think it's a lot based on intention. I feel like when it comes to being like spiritual or just tapping into like the magicalness, the magic of like us and the power within us, I think that a lot of that magic comes from ourselves and our own intentions, and not just the method or the tool that we are using to get there. You know, I think when it comes to any religion, any practice, spiritual, whatever, we have tools. We have tools to conduct our spirituality. We have tools to direct energy. But at the end of the day, where's all the energy coming from? Us. It's just amplified, or it's projected through these other things that we are using as tools. And I think, you know, we put that energy into other things. We take that energy from things. But at the end of the day, none of it works without you, in my opinion. That's not even the point of today though, y'all. Like, oh, I'm happy to be back. It's been a minute. Feeling good today. Feeling really good. And I hope you guys are feeling good. Welcome back. I am Deirdre, Monet Alien Bright. So, I'm excited to get into it today. How y'all been? What you been up to? How's it going? So, when are you gonna start believing that you can become whoever you want? I'm just saying, the clock is ticking. Here's the thing. We can be whoever we want, and it doesn't have to be as scary to try to change ourselves as we make it out to be. Scott F. Fitzgerald, he says, "For what it's worth, it's never too late to be whoever you want to be. And I hope you live a life you are proud of. And if you are not, I hope you have the strength to start over." So powerful. I don't know about y'all, but words are so powerful to me. Like, I'm a motivational quote whore. I have been so since my mother posts them every day on Facebook. I think it went down the family lineage, and it's definitely fallen on me. And I love it. My friends know this too. I'm like, I love a good quote. Please. I eat it up. I love it because it exemplifies what I want to talk about today, which is why you aren't trying to be who you want to be, and what you can do to change your mindset on that. We have the opportunity to change our lives as many times as we want. Do you realize that? Like, it is your life. It is not anybody else's. We're always so consumed by what our parents want us to be, what other people think we should be doing, how we should be doing it. But listen, you spend 100% of your time with yourself. So if you don't like what you're doing, how you're acting towards people, what you're engaging in, what career you're pursuing, you're going to be so unhappy because you spend all the time with you. There's not a moment in your life that you're not with yourself. Point blank, period. All these other people who are trying to give an input on your life, are they in your skin? Are they living with you every day? Are they in your body? No, they're not. And so you got to do what makes you happy. You got to change as many times as you want. You got to learn what you like, what you dislike, And if that means you're gonna go be a bartender for 3 years, you're gonna go to school, you're gonna quit school, you're gonna travel for 2 years, you're gonna go back to school, you're gonna start a business, you're gonna fail at the business, start a new business, maybe go back to school one more time, you fucking can. And you are the one that has to have a mentality that can help you define your own success, define your own value within the things that you do in life and how you see life. I personally have done a lot of things in my short span of life that I've lived so far, and I always feared so much about pivoting because I worry about what my parents might thought. Like, I had these goals and these dreams that I wanted to pursue, and now I'm pivoting and now I'm changing to something else because I don't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to be seen as somebody who couldn't finish something or couldn't see something through, or, you know, kept failing at something and giving up. But first of all, everyone fails. And if you haven't, then you're not doing it right. And second of all, no one that mattered in my life cared. I always had people supporting me no matter what path I was going down. And having people around you that support you for you more than what you do in life, they support you for your character, who you are as a person, more than what you pursue as a career. That is what matters most in life. And the people who don't probably shouldn't be there anyways. Here's the thing. When it comes to having that mindset to become whoever you want to be, to become that person, to create that dream life, you need to have people around you who are going to support you through it all. And if you make that pivot, if you turn left and then turn right and then turn left one more time, like, you need to have people who are going to love you and care for you and not see that as changing the value of who you are as a person. As life goes on, as time goes on, I kind of think about how beautiful it is that we can all make our own rules in our own lives. I was just telling a friend about how, you know, I have like my people from college that I am really close with, and getting to watch and see how we're all navigating our lives now since we graduated, and the different paths that we've gone in and the different experiences that we've had, and how we are very much on our own paths, and how all of them are equally as important and equally as cool to learn about, to hear about, to be a part of in each other's lives. And that it doesn't matter what each of us are doing. It's like the love, the care, the support is still there no matter what. It makes me think about how you can create your own rules in life. Like, you don't have to abide by what anybody else thinks is the right way for you to live your life. And I think that's probably why the world struggles with how we are today. Like, the world is a shit show is because we're all trying to impose our own rules on each other's lives, judging other people because they're not living it how you would live it or how you would want them to live it. When does that have anything to do with you? Because honestly, maybe the world would look a little bit better if we actually tried to love each other despite our differences, love each other from afar or closely, depending on how they live their life, how much you align with that. When I think about judgment, and I think about, I've really actually honed in on watching people judge others. And I'm not saying I'm not a proponent of judging. We all have work to do. But I notice other people judge people when they wouldn't feel comfortable doing that thing themselves, or wouldn't feel comfortable living that way themselves. It's like, when we judge others, we are subconsciously judging a part of ourselves that doesn't want to live life that way. Not because it's wrong that they're doing it, but because we are seeing life through the lens of how we judge ourselves, how we judge our own lives. And so the only way you're judging someone for doing something is because it's something you wouldn't do, or you wouldn't care to do, or you would feel uncomfortable doing, or you would feel scared doing. Right? So because we all have our own lenses and our own views of life, we need to do what makes ourselves happy. Because imagine when you start living your life based on other people's rules, living your life based on other people's interpretations of you, that's just gonna fuck you up. I think another huge thing that we have to think about when we talk about becoming whoever we want to be in life, following the dreams, following the goals we want to pursue, we have to, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, enjoy the process. So many people talk about focusing on the journey when you are trying to reach a goal, you're trying to reach a dream. And it's finally started to make sense to me, because if the journey isn't fulfilling you, then achieving the goal probably won't either. The journey is what you're doing 90% of the time. Once you achieve that goal, that's like 10% of it, y'all. So learn to love the process, or else achieving that goal won't give you any more fulfillment than doing the mundane things in between was. And another part of that that's so beautiful is it's like, once you reach that one goal, once you fulfill that one dream, you get to make another one. Your dreams and your goals can be ever changing. And I feel like that's something that's never talked about. We don't have to say, this is my life goal. It should be, these are my life goals and my dreams. Maybe not all of them will be achieved or attained, but I have so many that I can be fulfilled throughout my whole life. And that might change along the way. My goals and my dreams might change, and that's okay. I've come to the realization that I don't really subscribe to the idea of one job or one career for the rest of my life. And I don't know if any of us should have to. If you want to, of course, do that. But I feel like so many people don't want to. Being in Atlanta, I feel like everybody has 3 jobs, 3 side hustles. And I love that because people have all these different passions they want to pursue. Now, the part I don't like about it is that we feel like we have to do all these things to sustain ourselves because of our economy, because of, the 1% and the 99%, because of the lack of distribution of wealth in our country, because of all the issues with capitalism. But I think that surrounding that, there's still so much joy that we have all created in this city, surrounding our dreams, our goals, our passions, and allowing ourselves to still do those under the systems that we live under in America. When I think about all the things that I've done so far, interning as an accountant, to owning an online bakery, to having a cookie decorating business, to now food blogging and doing food photography, to being a break room attendant at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Like, there's so many things. And maybe one day I'll model, maybe one day I'll be a motivational speaker, maybe one day I'll travel the world for 2 years. Like, I love not knowing where my life is going to go 100%. Of course I have goals, of course I have dreams, but having the mindset of being whoever you want to be is so freeing. And I feel like it creates the space for those opportunities, for those things to flow right to you, because you have this mindset that you can experience any new thing at any point time in your life, whenever. So you aren't holding yourself inside this box that's subconsciously stopping you from receiving all these amazing things. At the end of the day, y'all, you are the creator of your life. I don't know if your timeline looks like mine, but if so, you've probably already heard this. But I'm reiterating it in a way for you to understand that you can be the change that you want to see in this world. If you want to be kinder, be kinder. If you want to be more confident, be more confident. If you want to be better at anything, all it takes is a little time, intention, and consistency. Maybe a little research too. But I also want to remind us that becoming whoever you want to be in life, becoming your dream self, becoming the best version of yourself, I know we've seen this stuff everywhere, does not have to look like anything you've seen before. Does not have to copy anything that you've seen somebody else do. Does not always mean consume more or have more. Maybe your dream life has more to do with peace than luxury. Maybe luxury for you isn't defined the same way as it is for somebody else. I think it's so easy to look at other people's lives, especially on social media and what we have now, and be like, ooh, I want that life. I want that life. That's the things that I want in my dream life. But you really need to sit with yourself and define that for yourself. I think that kind of clicked for me last year when I was pivoting initially. I really thought about what I wanted my life to feel like and what I wanted my life to look like. And then I looked at what I was doing, the career I was pursuing, the passions that I had, and I created those things, and I made sure those things melded into the way I wanted my life to look. Doesn't matter what you're doing, you can make it work for you. I think when it comes to business owners and sometimes entrepreneurship, based on what you've seen, it can be tricky because often the examples that we get for a successful business involve a lot of burnout, exploitation, taking our competition out of the game. And honestly, a lot of these examples that we are given as things to look up to, inspiration, especially in my business school when I was in college, I relate so much to colonialism and imperialism of white people. What they've done to other nations often happen through the guise of corporations, business, and that is not something that I want to use as a blueprint for my own business. I think America especially, we are given the white man's blueprint for a lot of areas in our life of what our lives should look like, what success means, what dreams should look like, what our dream life is, white picket fence, all that little stuff. And it doesn't have to be, especially given the state of the world we live in. If we look at it and we say, oh, they're so successful, I want to be like them, and then we look at how many people are suffering around the world, would we really still agree that this is the best way to go about running a business? I don't know. I do not know. I say all this to say, like, you can create whatever business model you want to be successful, and often it will be successful. You look at Adele, she talks about how badly she wanted to be able to create a music career that didn't rely on her endlessly putting out music all the time. And she did that. One of the most successful singers out there. With her child, she said, I want to have time for both. I want to still pursue the singing career, but make it match the lifestyle that I want to live. And she did that. There are people who've created their own business models that allow their employees to have shares of their business and actually own something while they work for a company, you know, kind of spreading that wealth in a way that most businesses do not. Successful. There are so many different ways to do things that we just have to think outside the box when it comes to our dream life, who we want to become, and realize that you don't have to do what everyone else is doing. So that was my rant today on be whoever you want to be. So tell me, y'all, what is something that you want to be this year or next year? Like, what is something you want to implement in your life? What is like a pivot, a change, something that may be a little crazy, but you want to put it out in the ether. You want to put it out, write it down somewhere so that the universe can hear you, God can hear you, whoever it is, whatever it is you believe in. So it can start coming to you, so the opportunities can start flowing to you. Because I would love to hear that in the comments. You know what? I think mine is I want to be the person I say I am, which is like integrity. Not that I'm not 100%, but oftentimes I think I am I'm a better person in front of people than I am alone. And that doesn't mean how I treat people or how kind I am, but in terms of like, oh, when people come over, things may look better than they do when no one's there. It's like, okay, I want to have that same discipline to keep my space nice, to keep my, space clean that I do when people are here, because I matter just as much as everyone else does. So if you enjoy, give it a like, give it a subscribe, and I will see y'all next week. I know I said I was coming out with some self-care. Just wait on it. It's coming. Until next time, love y'all. Wherever you're at, whatever time it is, good morning, good evening, good night, and see you next time. Bye.